All right, I hate bye week. The bye week, I just loathe. It gives me nothing to do all week long, nothing to think about. And then on Sunday, we really have nothing to think about and nothing to do. There are some games. We got the Bucks and the Bills. That's going to be pretty good. That game on CBS 4. This is in Indianapolis, not necessarily where you are. We got the Chiefs at the Broncos. Chiefs are the next opponent for the Colts, so you can do some advanced scouting if that's your thing. And you've also got the Bears and the Vikings at 1 o'clock on Fox. So, that's going to have to sustain you on Sunday. On Saturday, that's a different thing. We've got the Hoosiers and the Badgers noon from Memorial Stadium, and IU is going to win that game, and they're going to win that game soundly. I got a feeling that Wisconsin's going to start Carter Smith, and I got a feeling that it is not going to go well for Carter Smith or the Wisconsin Badgers because of freshmen playing against Indiana's defense. I think Daly and Kamara are going to have themselves a day. I think Haynes understands how to confuse a freshman quarterback. Confusion will reign. Turnovers, going to get a bunch of turnovers tomorrow afternoon in Bloomington, and the Hoosiers going to stomp the living hell out of the Badgers. That's just the way it's going to go. The remaining schedule for the Indianapolis Colts, you know what? You look at it and you think, oh my God, how are they going to beat the Chiefs? How are they going to beat the Seahawks? How are they going to beat the 49ers? And then you got two each home and home against the Jaguars and against the Texans. And you're like, my God, I'm glad they got off to an 8-2 start because I don't see them making the playoffs. Like, how are they going to find a way to win 2 more games to get to 10 and go to the playoffs? They're going to get to 10. Look at the ESPN matchup predictor and what they say. They got the Colts favored in 6 of those 7 games. We are always, because the last 4 years have rewarded this kind of thinking, we're darkest before the dawn type thinkers. That's what we've adopted. We've gone from being, hey, they're going to win 12, waking up, they're going to win 12. That's where we were 15 years ago with this program, with the Colts. Now it's like, okay, how are they going to find their way to lose 8 or 9 games? Well, they're not. It's all going to be okay. You're going to see, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Purdue basketball. I watched your game last night against Bama at Bama. You don't think Purdue's really good? You're straight crazy. They are really good, and the reason they're really good, and there aren't many programs like this anymore, is because of their coach. It used to be that you had Knight, you had Dean Smith, you had maybe Larry Brown at Kansas. You had guys who were real coaches. John Wooden way back in the day, and they lifted their program through their ability to lead and develop and in-game coach. Matt Painter might be the last of that ilk. He is a good enough coach to be able to take good talent, not mediocre talent, but not great talent, and turn them into winners. And it's a joy to watch. I got to tell you the truth. Watching Purdue last night, I was like, wow, how they hanging with this obviously more talented team from Alabama? Well, they do it because they do what they are supposed to do in playing winning basketball. We're going to talk about 5 changes that need to be made to Major League Sports to make them more watchable. Fix the TV product. Not fix the competitiveness necessarily, but fix the TV product. We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about the Pacers. Still rocking the Pacers colors, but damn, I start playing some basketball. There is no way you should get run out of the gym like the Pacers got run out of the gym in Phoenix last night. They're coming home. Anybody excited about that? They're 1-11 right now. I'd be excited about 26-27, not necessarily 25-26, because what do you got kind of in the offing that makes you think that this team can be anything other than what it already is? And they are not good. Really not good. Aggressively not good. Basketball's a weird game. It was like the Pacers last year had this preternatural belief in their ability to compete. And this year, it is gone. It is long gone. This is Breakfast with Kent for Friday, November 14th, 2025, brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. YouTube TV, you get the best picture, you get the best guide. Guides are important, man. I don't want to slog through 78,000 channels trying to find the one thing that I want. I don't do that. Where's Rockford Files on? I don't know. Just keep scrolling, Julie. Keep scrolling. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I don't want to do that. I want the guide that I can manipulate. I know you don't have ESPN, ABC, Disney, FX. I don't care about Disney. I can live without ABC, but you got to get those others. So I have suspended, to be perfectly honest. I paused my YouTube subscription. I'll pick it back up later. Keep the link that's in the show description handy for when they do come back with all of their programming. You're going to want to sign up. You're going to want to join because they're going to make it less expensive through the negotiations that are ongoing with Disney. All right? And you're going to save $15 off the top. Okay. Become a member. Becoming a member is oh so important. Tomorrow morning, about 9 o'clock, we're going to have a get-together, a hobnob, a hoedown, and we're going to talk about sports, and it's members only, and it's really, really fun. I enjoy the living hell out of it. It's for an indeterminate length. We just talk until people run out of questions and comments that are interesting. That's what we do. So join us tomorrow morning, but you got to be a member to join. So become a member, become a subscriber, because when you become a subscriber, you become eligible to win prizes. And we got great prizes. I got them right back there. There are 5 Colts jerseys signed by guys like Gary Brackett, Jeff Saturday. You got Dominic Rhodes and others, Riley Leonard, and off you go. We're going to give these things away, 1 per week on Monday afternoons, but you've got to be a subscriber to be eligible. You need to use the phrase that pays in order to participate. All right, that's your entry, is using the phrase that pays. And the phrase that pays today, sorry, is Boiler Up, because Boilers got it done last night against another top 10 team on their floor. And that is worth a phrase that pays, I got to tell you. All right, also, smash the like button. Smashing the like button, that gets it done. All right, and we want to see you, if you want to make a donation, no big whoop. But please include a comment or a question that elevates the level of discourse on the channel. There you go. I'm sorry it's Boiler Up too. But we can't ignore facts. And the fact is, the Boilermakers are the top team in the country. That's it. All right, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. I did not see A.D. Mitchell last night. I did not watch Monday Night Football. I watched Purdue and Bama last night. It's Hawaiian Shirt Day at my work today. Do you think that getting Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones will be possible for the Colts? Yes, it will be. They're going to be able to re-sign both those guys. They're going to have to make some tough decisions about others like Braden Smith and Kwity Paye, but they're going to be able to squeeze those guys in under the under that cap level. Doug Ropp says it's Bucky Retribution Weekend, and it is. 83-20 back in 2010. We remember the Badgers in Madison laying 83 on the Hoosiers. We do. And I'm afraid that the retribution is going to be more along the lines of not allowing the Badgers to score a point rather than scoring 83. So, you know what? Maybe that should be the phrase that pays. Sorry, it's Boiler Up. Let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. So, like I said, we got 3 games on Sunday afternoon that are going to capture our attention a little bit. At 1 o'clock, you got the Bucs at the Bills, Bears at Vikings, and then at 4 o'clock, you've got the Chiefs and the Broncos. I'm going to watch the Bears and the Vikings, and then, of course, the Chiefs and the Broncos. The remaining schedule for the Colts at the Chiefs, that's the one game that the ESPN matchup predictor actually believes that the Colts are going to lose. They say the Colts have a winning opportunity probability there of 38.7%. So 61% that they will lose. All right? That seems reasonable. We'll see how that works out. Then they've got the Texans here. That's 60.8% that the Colts get that done. At the Jags, that's 61.7% that they win that game. I don't know if they've seen, if the matchup predictor has seen and takes into account what has been the case since 2014. and that's Colts losing in Jacksonville. Randy says, I think the Pacers' record shows why Halliburton's a superstar. I'll tell you what, I think it shows, yes, but at least a really, really good basketball player. I think that it shows why the others aren't a star at all, right? Like, make no mistake about it. Nesmith, Nembhard, Siakam, no, not stars. Siakam's a really good basketball player, but he's not a very good leader, I don't think. I look at that team over the first 12 games of the season. He's not leading great. Let's talk about the Pacers just for a minute so we kind of get it out of our system. 133-98 last night. 133-98. They lost quarters by 8, 10, 4, and 13 last night. That's a humiliation, for God's sake, for this team. So they got to come back, and they're going to play the Raptors tomorrow night. Then they're at Detroit. They play Charlotte here. They're at Cleveland, and then they play Detroit here. How many of those games are they going to win? Detroit's 10-2 on the season, for God's sake. Cleveland's 8-5. Charlotte's 4-7. They could beat Charlotte here. That'd make them, 2-16. Heady times. I love the throwback jerseys. I like throwback jerseys. I like jerseys. And here's the thing. The Colts have always respected the jersey. I like that. The Colts, their jersey sort of is a throwback. They change the color a little bit, the tint of the blue a little bit, and how the stripes sort of look. But that's their uniform. Whether it's blue on white or white on blue, it all looks great to me. I think it's the best looking jersey in the NFL. Against the Seahawks at Seattle, 50.4% chance to win, Colts. All right, they must be doing something I don't know about. And then against the Jags here, 67.6% chance of winning here. At the Texans, 52.8%. So they're favored in 6 of their last 7 games. They are not favored in 1. How important, really, was that Falcons game? That Falcons game was really important. You won that game. If you had lost that game, if the Colts lose that game, then this game in Kansas City, against sort of the team of the decade right now, I'm going to elevate the Chiefs over the top of the Eagles in that conversation, at least for this conversation. If you don't win that game, all of a sudden you've lost 3 in a row, and you're looking at an entirely different scenario mentally for this team. Right now, they feel pretty good about themselves. 8-3 or 8-2, 7-3, becoming 7-4. That's a different deal. If they would lose at Kansas City, you feel different about yourself going into those games against Houston here and at the Jaguars. They were beaten by the Steelers in a game where they didn't look very good, and they didn't look terribly good against the Falcons, minus Jonathan Taylor, who was absolutely awesome, and then Zaire Franklin in the overtime, really, really good. You win 4 of the remaining 7 games, and you've won 12 for the season. 12-5 will win the AFC South. It'll be a top 3 seed. It won't be a top seed, but you might be the number 2 seed, and that'd be fine. I'm good with that. I'd rather be the 1, but you know what? If you're the 1, that's a game we're robbed of watching. I like watching games. Mo football, Mo better. All right, let's briefly talk about the ways to fix sports on TV. Widen the basketball court from 50 feet to 60 feet. Extend the three-point line to 26 feet all the way around. No corner threes. All right, right now you've got corner threes in the NBA at 22 feet. You've got the current distance at 23.9. I'm pushing it back another 2 feet 9 inches all the way around. On college campuses, you've got 22 feet 1 3/4 inches for a three-point shot, 21 7 7/8 from the corners. I want 26 for all threes. End replay in all sports minus boundary calls. It's just not conducive to fairness or enjoyment, and it has really worked to degrade officiating in general. How about 3 balls for a walk, 2 balls for a strike, or 2 strikes for a strikeout? 3 balls for a walk, 2 strikes for a strikeout. Move the game along. I'm tired of 3 and 2. Don't give me 2 and 1 as a full count. Let's get this thing moving. Baseball, like before you think I'm some kind of heretic, that's happened before. Back in the late 1800s, it was 5 balls for a walk, 4 balls or strikes for a strikeout. Then they shrunk it back to 3 or 4 and 3. Now I want it 3 and 2. Eliminate timeouts, gone over. No timeouts at all in any sport. TV timeouts we live with. We understand the need for commercial content to drive earning. I get it. But no more coach called timeouts. No more mound visits. Let's go. Teach your players to play, and then they play. You get no timeouts. Like I said, Purdue last night was just stellar. 87-80, winners over Bama. Very entertaining game. Boilermaker basketball, very unusual. It's kind of like they play a different game, and that game is successful, and Matt Painter coaches it better than anybody else. Pacers absolutely got awful last night, losing 133-98. If you're going to allow people to score 1,000,000 points, you got to score 1,000,001. They're not scoring well, and their defense is complete garbage. This is a terrible, terrible basketball team through 12 games this season. Can they turn it around? Why would we believe that they could? Go to the games, have a great time, but understand you're not going to see great basketball. Let's celebrate some birthdays, shall we? Angela Parsons May, celebrating a birthday. The great Alex Ketty, a radio engineering icon in the city of Indianapolis. Daniel Poole, happy birthday, Paula Ogle and Kevin Snap. And the great Teresa Tanous, celebrating a birthday. If today's your birthday, you celebrate like hell. If it's not your birthday, you celebrate somebody else. That's best done with an honest and specific compliment. Turn your joy that you have many days for yourself. I'm the best. I'm the whiz. I'm the greatest. I'm the whiz. No, they're the whiz. Make them feel like they're the whiz. All right? You're the whiz. You're the whiz. You're the greatest. There you go. All of a sudden, people feel better about themselves, and the problems that we have globally and as a society, poof, gone, because we fixed them all one at a time. All right, it is Friday. What do we do on Fridays? We windmill. The windmill. It's the rage in all the clubs. You get out and you windmill. You get those legs going. You get those arms flailing. And women come up and say, my God, where do you get all the energy? And you don't go home alone. Wouldn't that be a nice thing tonight if you're going out to the clubs? I think that's really good. The windmill. It takes a minute to learn, but a lifetime to master.